Over a week since the Bijapur encounter happened, since 22 CRPF, DRG and STF personnel were martyred, what is it that is now happening in the anti-Naxal operation? What is it that we know so far? What we know is that the Chhattisgarh police is now on the hunt of Basavanna Raju, who is the chief of CPI Maoist, of HIDMA, and there are a few other names which have now come up. These names have been mentioned in the FIR. Who are these people? The names mentioned are that of Ganpati Mupalla Lakshmana Rao. He was earlier the chief of CPI Maoist, took over from Basavanna Raju took over from Ganpati. He's also Politburo member. So Politburo members Kattam Sudarshan, Ganpati, they've all been mentioned. Some names which survivors have told the police is that when the encounter went on till about 4:30, they heard those Naxals addressing each other by names. One of the names taken was that of HIDMA. So the question that now arises, was HIDMA himself present there when the Tarem encounter was happening? The other name is that of Nagesh. He is the first company commander of Battalion 1 of PLGL. Battalion 1 of PLGA is what HIDMA heads. So Nagesh is the other name. Some other names which have come up is that of Sagar. He is the second company of CRC. He's the head of those. So these are Naxals who are wanted, who have been carrying out massacres in parts of Bastar, and their names were heard by survivors. They have been named in the FIR, registered by the Bijapur police. So now the hunt is on for them. In Dantewada on Sunday, one Naxal was eliminated. His name is Vetti Hunga. 1 lakh reward on his name. Vetti Hunga was killed, and when he was killed, there were a few other Maoists who were seen injured. This is what Abhishek Pallav, the superintendent of Dantewada police, says. And from the situation, it looks like this is part of the anti-Naxal operation that the police is now launching in the area surrounding Tarem. So in Dantewada, in Sukhma, in Bijapur, you will see more operations happening. Will that lead to HIDMA getting caught? That's something that we'll have to wait and watch. But from the sequence of events that we know so far, survivor Rakeshwar Manhas, when he has come back, he has been debriefed, and what he has told was that even though he was not particularly treated badly while in custody, the fact is that his hands were forever tied, so he was in captivity. At the time of his release, at that Jan Adalat, about 250 people from villages were sitting there, and there was one point when the woman commander asked a question to the villagers in the local language whether Rakeshwar Manhas should be set free, and police confirms that the villager in unison said that no, he should be killed because security forces carry out a lot of torture of villagers in that area. But even after that, a call was taken that Manhas must be released. Perhaps this call was taken because one villager who had been detained by the security forces, Madhvi Sukkal, he was released. Now, Madhvi Sukkal's release has led to a lot of controversy. IG Bastar, P. Sundarraj, has come on record to say that no Maoist against whom there was a case has been released in return for Manhas. But video evidence that News 18 has access clearly shows that Madhvi Sukkal was in detention for some time. It was suspected that he was part of the Jan militia. It was suspected that he was a Naxal informer. So he was in custody for some time, and local media has reported, after speaking to mediators, that they carried Madhvi Sukkal with them when they moved to this area of Pedlaguru, Tekalgudam, Jagadguda. So these are the three villages at the crossroad of which the handover happened, and Sukkal definitely was taken by the mediation team. So that exchange perhaps ensured that Rakeshwar Manhas was set free. There was those tense moments after speaking to multiple police officials, journalists who were part of the mediation team, some of the mediators who have also spoken to the local media. We managed to piece together about what really happened. It seemed that for 4.5 hours, the mediation team kept waiting for Manhas to be handed over. They were offered food. Some reports from the local media again suggest that while the mediation team waited, they were served fish curry and rice. And then two of the mediation team members were taken on a bike to further inside the forest. One woman and one male member of the mediation team was taken inside, where they were asked will you ensure that Rakeshwar Manhas, if released, is safely taken to his residence? Because we don't suspect the police. They could harm him and bring a bad name to the Naxals. So the mediation team assured them that they will ensure Manhas reaches home and they will provide that information to the Maoists. That is when a decision was taken. So there were those tense moments when no activity was happening. Manhas was still in captivity. Villagers were saying that, you know, he should not be released. In spite of all of that, his release has been secured. Now what next? Officials who spoke to CNN News 18 from the Central Paramilitary Forces, from the state police, do concede that because of Manhas being in custody, the immediate plan to retaliate, the immediate plan to catch hold of Hidma, who was in that vicinity, and like I told you, survivors say he was perhaps leading the ambush, that opportunity may have been taken away. But as this encounter in Dantewada shows, anti-Naxal operations are definitely continuing. The TCOC is on, so both sides will try and score over each other. The central forces, the state forces, definitely want to avenge the death of the 22 DRG, STF and CRPF men who died. So in the next few days, you could see more action.